Honestly, this reminds me of the Bee Gees
Yep.
taking the vocals out, and then you send the Bee Gees on a one-way ticket around the world to get some experience, and then they come back and they're a little bit more worldly, right? And so that's really what this reminds me of.
It is time.
Welcome to Galaxy Jam. So next we're going to be listening to a band called Circles Around the Sun featuring Mikaela Davis. And this is a new single called Language. So Circles Around the Sun is a gentleman named Neil Casal. And so the Grateful Dead were putting on a 3-show thing called Fare Thee Well. Do you remember? It was in Chicago at that giant city field, I think it was called. Anyway, it was like the last shows that Jerry Garcia played before he died.
Okay.
And then 25 years later or something like that, the Dead got back together with Trey Anastasio from Phish.
I do remember that.
Right,
yeah.
to play those 3 shows in this big packed out. Right, so it was a really big deal. And so Justin Kreutzmann, who's the son of Grateful Dead drummer Bill, hired Neil to make the set break music. So what you're hearing is Neil getting a group of guys in the studio and jamming, and this is explicitly just to make the set break music for these legendary shows.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Really cool.
Yeah, so that's how this band was formed, and so now what you're listening to is a new single by that band called Language.
Check it out. Really liking where the song's going. I just love the bass line, the drums, and the clav just coming in at that point. The guitar work, everything's really, really cool.
Yeah, it sounds funky. It sounds groovy. This is great.
It's all called Circles Around the Sun. I just want to remind people that.
Yeah, and then also Nate Sack says in the chat, "Rip Neil Casal." We definitely agree. So this is actually the band's first effort to release music after Neil is unfortunately passing away.
That little bit of dissonance. What a great idea to have a band do the sound, the stuff in between set lists and the background music for the concert. I mean, what a great idea that is.
I mean, I think when you're throwing a show, the set break music is pretty much just as important as the main music that's playing, right? And honestly, this reminds me of the Bee Gees taking the vocals out, and then you send the Bee Gees on a one-way ticket around the world to get some experience, and then they come back and they're a little bit more worldly, right? And so that's really what this reminds me of. Less of like a city vibe that the Bee Gees give me, and more of like a country, bohemian vibe.
Mm-hmm, interesting.
Definitely.
I love there's a lot of really interesting like harmonic movement going on, and like that progression's wild. I was like following along, like, oh man, now they're in like another one. And anyway, it's just, they keep it interesting. It's cool.
So dreamy.
Pink Floydy.
That was pure ear candy.
That was such a great place for them to go. I had no expectations that they were going to go into that, and now they're getting ready to sound like they're changing to something else.
Right. So maybe the entire album is just one gigantic jam that they did.
Possibly. Everything. The recording of it's great. The bass playing is dynamite. Loving it.
Yeah, that was lovely.
That was wonderful.
Nothing like a good staccato cloud.
That guitar part's just perfect. Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry that's over.
No, me too.
Man, that was so awesome. I loved the effect they had on that harp that was just sweeping back and forth. And I felt like I was watching this whole stage production for like a ballet. It was great. Really had classical vibes with a big Grateful Dead influence at the end there when they kind of like jumped off the diving board and into the deep end, to take us on a journey.
Yeah, absolutely. I just everywhere that song went, when it went into that cool Pink Floyd type thing, and then kind of went into something else, and you're like not sure where it was going, and they snap right back into it, just like what?
Yeah, I love when bands do that, when they can go off into uncharted territory, but then kind of just grab this like hook that they just wham, go right back into it. And that one sounded especially nice.
I felt so many different emotions, and then they'd like bring you right back to that happy clav part. This is
Like the clav, and then they would do the clav part, which was really cool, and then they would do the clav part again, but it's more affected, and it had this weird sound to it, and then they would do it again, it's even more affected.
Yeah,
very nice.
Another great studio effort from Circles Around the Sun. Bravo.
Bravo.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Kai here with Galaxy Jams. I hope you enjoyed that React video. If you didn't know, we live stream a music improv show every single Tuesday, and we'd love to have you there. But if you want to hear what we sound like, just give us 30 seconds.